Hell's balls. What happened here?
Something's emanating from under there.
No wonder this place is off limits. One of these must be Lammy's hideaway. Lammy, you here?
This is locked from the other side.
You were studying botany? Why botany? The incisions are clean. The precision of an expert.
There's magic here, though faint.
Arrowloo. Mean anything to you?
Not a thing.
He mentioned an old mill. Seemed fascinated by the place. Nothing incriminating. Yet.
Remember what we found at Caleb Watson's? Maybe we're not looking in the right place. If I had something to hide, I might hide it in an abandoned mill. I have another insight.
Reinforcements!
Watch out! Spectre possession.
Why a mill?
Away from the village. Perfect for his research. Perfect to hide secrets.
He's not out here for pleasure, that's for sure. Peaceful. Like home on a good day. No, it's hilly, mine. Ether like playing with the lambs. Blair preferred to feed them. And I was too busy dreaming.
And you?
Oh, I cooked them for dinner. The lambs, I mean. Oh, the girls were furious.
Yes, but they weren't hungry.
much for peaceful.
The ward's power is gone. This isn't over yet.
What should we expect up there?
A gateway to the mythical Aralu, whatever that is. Otherwise, terrible tragedy, dark doings, sick secrets, and a wild guess. They never learn, do they?
Bloody mongrel! Looks derelict. Is he really inside?
The ward's power is gone. I know.
Oh there! Guess we're not going that way.
There should be a way up here. What hides here in the dark? Come out, come out.
Looks like Lamy was trying to translate some sort of ritual.
Not any ritual. This is the Lesser Palingenesis.
I guess no one warned Lammy that grimy reincarnation rituals were not without risk. This relay lad seems dangerous.
His apprentice seems to be following him down the same path.
So, what are you hiding in here, evil spawn?
Glancing at the original writing, Lammy's work was poor. No wonder the ritual he spawned for Caleb from those botched words of power went wrong. More ghost wards. Someone was being extra careful.
He doesn't speak well of his dad.
He thought he was better. That's not a particularly difficult task, in fairness.
We need to get to the top floor. Bet we'll find something.
Red, come see this. Why did he feel like he needed so much protection? More magic mockery. He wished to disguise his presence, or perhaps to distract from it.
It's just a lift. Why is this mechanism so complex? That book, again.
The Agrippa. That's not good. Not good at all.
What level of not good are we talking about exactly?
This book promises eternal life, but the promise is a trap. Let's hope it hasn't been used.
Should be useful. The lift should work now. All this is more serious than we thought. I'm apprehensive. Not just because we're going underground.
We'll be careful. We don't know what Lammy was up to, and the signs are not encouraging.
You know, I could get to like it underground. The darkness, the gloom, the cool air.
Really?
No, not really. Not at all. Yeah. Enjoying your feast of lesser living form, then? Hell's balls. Another sorrow used as a guardian.
just getting stronger.
Blasted pest! Almost there!
Let's end this. When all this is over, I might retire.
You'd miss it. You know you would. You need to see this. Dead animals, again. Different symbols and magic. Seems they were used as bait. Is this how we got through the Sorrow's vigilance?
So, here we are.
I suppose now we step into the void.
Suppose we do. Rituals, void breach, general weirdness. We can't be far.
Wards, think you can fend for yourself? Wards.
It's awfully calm. Why is it awfully calm?
Ghost wards cannot manifest. Spectres. They haven't noticed us. Stay low. Wards. I'm going to need a hand here. Take care. The place is warded.
Careful now.
An Ariadne's thread leading through the void. Very useful indeed.
Very useful right until it falls apart. Then you're stuffed like force meat in a turkey.
Creepy hideout. The governor's spawn likes a bit of drama.
This one's different. Looks like it died diseased. This is some dark, sideways magic.
It's forbidden. I've read it.
Sometimes I worry about you. What is this thing?
Banisher rule number 4.
If it oozes, don't touch it. Another botched experiment?
It may be native to the void. So, you can see me. Aren't you full of surprises, young Master Haskell?
You may talk. A Banisher ghost. Amazing. How on God's earth did you find me? Never mind that. Thank the Lord you did. Thought I was going to grow old in here.
Were you stuck in here?
In the Araloo? Originally, I was searching for the source of the poisoning. I may have overestimated my talents. Still, an amazing place to be stuck in, no?
As hiding places go, the void is quite the choice.
Yes, an amazing place. Or plane? World? The Araloo is not easily described, but it makes a fascinating study. Tell me, how did you get past the Guardian beneath the mill? Did you use a decoy?
We fought it. Don't change the subject.
You fought it? Of course you did! A good thing too. I was starting to think it was wise to me tricks. Oh, but I have so many questions.
This isn't a social call, kid. And we're the ones with the questions.
Oh. Of course.
We must talk of Caleb Watson. Why in the hell would you give him a resurrection ritual?
Ruth's death hit poor Caleb hard. He was alone, and so I would often stop by his workshop. We talked. He took a keen interest in my studies and was a good listener. When he learned that she could possibly return, he had one question. How?
Men bonding over bereavement and black magic. A pretty tale indeed.
I should have proceeded with more caution.
You saw his grief as an opportunity to test the effects of the lesser palingenesis.
Oh, you know the ritual too? Amazing, isn't it?
I've studied it. The actual ritual. Not the mangled version you gave Caleb.
Yes, and I'm sorry. I found it in a copy of De Occulti Philosophia by Cornelius Agrippa von Nettesheim. A remarkable book.
I've met my fair share of illustrious occultists, and none owned an authentic Agrippa. Much is lost in translation or altered in the printing. I doubt your copy is an exception.
Of course! The power is in the words, and mine were wrong, so the power went awry. How very fascinating!
You mistake foolishness for audacity. You must mend your ways.
Surely the acquisition of knowledge cannot be a sin.
Do you remember Deborah?
Miss Comenius. Yes, of course, I remember.
Your father tasked us with an investigation. One way or the other, we must return with the mystery solved.
Ah. I think I understand what you're saying. I might be in a tiny little bit of, danger.
You see ghosts. You stroll the void as if it were your garden. You possess and share forbidden rituals. Who are you really?
I'm Lammy Haskell, and I'm a man of many sciences. I am in fact a true pursuer.
That raises more questions than it answers.
What are the pillars of the universe? Which principles underpin existence? As occultists, do we change the world or scratch upon its surface? Each discipline I embrace peels back a new layer of reality. I'm yet at the beginning, and see where I already stand. Amazing, no?
You did not find the void breach beneath the mill by accident. You had help. Who taught you?
I did my research.
Suddenly, you're a man of few words.
I'd rather not involve those not present. Discretion, you understand.
Are you a demonologist like your father?
More or less. Less, more so. My father sees occultism through the eyeglass of his faith, but I know better. So, more so?
If you don't share your father's faith, What do you believe?
I believe in the afterlife. The proof is about us. And if the void embodies eternal despair, there must too be a place of hope. But where, I ask myself, where?
Your father is convinced a witch poisoned his well. Caleb Watson was cursed by a ritual you gave him. I'd focus if I were you.
We must counter the devil with knowledge of his tricks. That, my father always said, is the purest of God's work.
Aye, I can imagine your father saying that.
When I was 10, he gave me my initiation. Demonology, sir, as he would say. He saw me as his heir. Then, of a sudden, the books were forbidden. So I stole them, the very same books he'd forced upon me as a boy. I understand them where he does not. I did no wrong, apart from a little theft.
You've studied demonology. Did you do it alone?
When my father forbade me to continue, I confess I disobeyed him in secret. Those big books were very boring until they were forbidden. Suddenly I could not get enough of their secret knowledge. Funny, eh? More recently, a good friend of my father showed me that I had only been scratching at the surface.
Who was your father's friend?
An itinerant Frenchman who often visited New Eden in recent years. He called himself a true pursuer. As a thinker, he was prolific and profound. My father was so proud to be included in his discourse. For him, knowledge is the ladder to greatness, and greatness is the prize. To me, knowledge is itself the prize.
He taught you in secret.
On his visits, I would assist him with the research for the writing of his books. When the curse fell, he fled with thick-skinned Newsmith and left all his work behind. I hope he made it. I'd surely like to one day show him the advances I've made upon his work.
From the looks of this place, you're knee-deep in research. What are you doing here exactly?
Searching for the origin of the Harrow's Plague, of course. And I have a theory on the subject.
Of course you do. Go on then.
Now, at first, I believed the water poisoned, but my father sealed the well, and yet folk remained sick. They looked for witchcraft, a foolish, uneducated suspicion, yes, but with some truth concealed behind it. You see, the Araloo taints New Eden. Its influence leaches into the Harrows. The evidence is everywhere.
By the Araloo, do you mean the void?
Neither name does it justice. This place is beyond words. The Araloo, Mr. McCraith, is made of the very fabric of our primordial myths. Isn't it amazing?
How can you be sure the void has tainted the region?
In New Eden, the threshold between our plane and this is thin. Even I, a novice, may reach the frontier and then go beyond. I also believe it happened before. Some years ago, New Eden was hit by another epidemic.
Was it the same illness?
I believe that first epidemic was caused by the porosity of the frontier between New Eden and the Araloo. Although, where theirs was an affliction of burning flesh, ours is a corruption of mind and spirit. And I believe I have found its source. There is a substance, a strange ooze. You may have noticed it. This, I believe, is the true source of the Harrow's poison. It carries a particular stink, on the scent of which I experience first confusion, then a loss of control over my limbs.
You've based all this on a peculiar smell.
Well, not only that. Also observation, experience, elimination of other possibilities. As a Banisher, you surely understand that the limits of our perception far exceed the bounds of our normal attention. As a scientist, it's important to look closer, the better to understand what the Araloo is really made of.
Confusion, paralysis. Can you tell me more?
I felt my movements slowing, my thinking too. Space seemed to thicken. But wait, what if it was not space thickening, but time slowing? In recent months, many in New Eden have spoken of similar feelings, of lost time, hours untrackable, days passing unremembered. Who knows how the Araloo disturbs the minds and bodies of women and men?
What do you expect to find at the source of the ooze?
To find a cure. The ooze seeps into our world, sickening us. I may be able to stop it. Unfortunately, I cannot reach the source. The Araloo is a formidable place. Tricky. A maze constantly evolving, changing, reshaping itself. The isthmus, for example. I found an oozing crack in the ground. The terrain then remade itself, and I can get to it no longer.
Perhaps we might be able to find a way through and take a look at that source.
Would you? That would be splendid. Would you mind taking notes?
Let's go take a closer look at that ooze then.
And with that sorrow gone, I can leave. Do be careful. My home is your home. If you need anything, help yourself.
The Araloo is not your home, Lammy. But thank you.
Pardon my morbid enthusiasm, Mistress Duarte, but could I ask you a few questions?
What do you wish to know?
Do you still need to eat? Do you feel hunger? Sorry, it's just, you're the first ghost I've met, in person, as it were.
I don't eat. Not in the way you do. I feel hunger. Again, not in the way you do.
Fascinating. And can you touch things, smell them? Are colours the same as you remember them?
My senses are different. It's difficult to describe how. I can see, sometimes touch. I cannot smell. Red tells me this is a blessing.
How do you manifest in this plane? Do you feel bound, or are you here by choice?
It feels as if I were clinging to a rope, high above the abyss. Even if I wished to let go, I could not bring myself to do it.
I see. What about your Banisher skills? Can you use them? Do the accoutrements of your craft still work? As a ghost, do they not harm you?
The marks on my hands and the rings on my fingers aren't actually there. They have no more effect on me than a memory.
Can you talk to any ghost you wish?
No. I sense traces of their presence. To talk to them, I must still do the work.
And yet here I am, talking to you. How marvelous. The dead are rarely as articulate, nor are they accommodating. In fact, they're often quite rude.
We should probably get going. Some other time, then.
But we've merely scratched at the surface of the great mysteries. I mean, look around us. We stand here beyond the ultimate frontier. Sorry. I mean to say, yes, Mistress Duarte.
Antea, we should get going. So, the pious governor's unassuming son is our evil Harrow's witch.
I was as earnest as he. Ah, the rank enthusiasm of youth. It's sickening, really. I can't smell the stench Lammy spoke of, but I feel strange, and I suspect the ooze.
Only one way to find out. Oh, God. I need a wee bit of help here.
Yes, I can take it. Ugh, Lammy was right. This stuff means business. Red, I can't manifest anymore.
Words work well enough. You didn't need to kill so many bots.
Demonologists use necromancy. Maybe he thought he'd bring them back when he was done.
Let's get back up.
throwing a tantrum, are we?
It oozes through the breach, suppurates like a festering wound.
How delightful.
Let's see what lies on the other side. Where are we now?
Underground, looks like.
Wonderful.
The ooze affects the incarnate, too. Who goes there?
Is that a ghost?
I don't know. But I don't think we're alone. What might you be, then?
What was...
Oh, shite.
Did you just say shite? You? It's bigger than I thought it'd be.
Is that a house from the Harrows?
We may be below the well.
No wonder they all got sick.
The cries of the innocent have reached the ears of the Lord Almighty.
This house belonged to a certain Antipas and Clemency Gibbs. Something's nearby.
Where is it? Look up. The ooze, oozed through the very stone.
And of all of them, just this one house fell down.
Maybe it was personal.
Was the Gibbs' house targeted by the ooze?
Obviously. Look around you.
The Gibbs' land was barren. They were struggling for money.
Mr. and Mrs. Gibbs, have you read my paper?
I read it, aye. And then I washed my hands and prayed for grace. You claim to prove that there is no curse. Well,
A witch would say that, wouldn't she?
Wherever people gather to live, disease takes hold, and I believe... What are you doing?
your evil lies shall be destroyed. We know who you are, and you shall be judged. Witch!
They were determined to do for her. She built a case for her rationality, and they tore it apart. This isn't over yet.
This on for size. Picking up something spectral nearby.
Mrs. Gibbs, I presume.
Another shadow.
What do they want? Red, something is keeping me from manifesting.
In here? Ah, shite.
The greedy strives with purpose to bring ruin to the households of the righteous. Guilty.
Better.
You're welcome.
Now let's inspect the body. I love doing that.
Expecting no less from you, Mrs. Gibbs.
Someone didn't want to stay dead.
Clemency Gibbs blamed the epidemic on a witch. Come from New Eden Town with the governor.
That's not what Deborah's research pointed at.
The Gibbs were not at home to rational explanations.
The greedy shall fall, and their certitudes be swamped when the final judgment comes.
See anything?
Either the water table is full of ooze, or there's another source.
Let's search upstream.
Here, you know. Over there.
Elusive little buggers.
Don't step in that. I mean it.
Find a way around then.
Beware. Wolves.
Judge, and you will not be judged.
Those echoes we're hearing are the shadows speaking.
They always appear near the ooze.
So do the whispers.
But which came first? The whispers say the same things over and over.
What kind of entity would be so obsessed?
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
To deliver you from the way of evil, your captives are unleashed upon you.
Watch out! Spectre possession!
Reinforcements!
You're within gun range, Red.
Yet in your cowardice and in your pride, you thought yourself fit to lay the blame. Guilty.
This looks perfectly drinkable.
Famous last words.
Why hasn't the poison spread to the groundwater?
Perhaps it shifts and shapes, like the void. Well, at the very least, it shifts. Looks like the ooze comes from a distinct source. This whole country is rotten to the core.
And you're just now reaching this conclusion?
If I wanted your opinion, I'd give it to you.
Perhaps if you gave me the space to have one, then we'd both be better off. Someone came through here, someone real, not just a shadow. Whoever it was, looks like the ooze got him. What do you think, Antea?
You wanted the space to have your own opinion. I'm giving it to you.
This must be Antipas Gibbs. Hell of a fall to live through. Join in any time, Antea.
What do you think I'm doing?
This is God's land. How could we let a witch come to our community? Instructing our children, no less.
'Tis no surprise. New Eden brims over with backsliders. The governor, chief amongst them.
Aye, many had to sicken and die for him to act. But the deed is not yet done.
We must fight the Lord's good fight and cast the devil out for good. Many want to try the witch, aye, and many want to see her dead.
Think you could take on a ghost?
Reinforcements!
Did we miss a few?
Away with you! Get lost, won't you?
Those things came from the ooze. They're like those oriental shapeshifters we fought in Bremen.
Obake liquefy. The Gibbs were so angry. Pure entitled bigotry.
Maybe they were affected by the ooze. I mean, we've been snapping at each other since we got here. Something's toying with us.
I think they made the ooze. I don't think the ooze made them.
This is it. This is the source. How do we get to it?
You have turned your back from God. Today when most needed. Guilty.
Something tells me this is the condemned well. Do you think you could get that bucket down?
Whatever you have sown, you shall reap. Alone
I sensed the vivid echo of a ghost's memory. A ghost left a fragment of their past here.
The devil still breathes through her mouth. We are cursed, and you are stalling.
Clemency, Antipas, please. The woman has been jailed. As per custom, she will face trial and justice will be brought to this community.
Coming from a magic user himself. But can you or your demonologist discernment really be trusted?
How dare you insinuate such blasphemy? I'm a man of faith.
Then do what God commands of you. Governor, we ask for safety. If we do not get it, there will be consequences.
The governor used Urim and Thummim, and that made his flock suspicious.
Divination stones. He must have thrown them down the well when he sealed it. Why now?
He's afraid. The Earth took the Gibbs house. Perhaps he thought he was a target too. The Gibbs had a hand in rigging the witch trial, but he was the one who sealed it.
That echo proves that things were getting out of hand. For his son's safety and his own, Pascal must have feared the suspicious mob.
None supported you.
Oh, this can't be good.
Who are you?
Confess! Make them speak!
If we speak, so you listen?
Impudence! Provocation! Read the charges!
Let Urim agree. You have blood on your hands and weakness in your heart. Guilty!
Swore to vanquish evil. You conspired with witches.
Sworn to banish all ghosts. Instead, you embrace one.
The charges. Cowardice, oath-breaking, deception. The verdict. Guilty. The sentence. Pain hereafter.
I only seek the truth.
Truth is a poison most believe they want. That poison will end you.
Bloody hell. Is that me? How the hell just came out of that shadow?
It's working. Keep at it.
Blighted deceiver, rise for the verdict. Alive, you banished parasite ghosts. Yet dead, you dare linger. Have you no shame? You indulge yourself. I sentence you to anger, to regret, and hence to oblivion.
I never wanted this. I hate the very thing I've become. I'll take care of this thing. Yeah? Well, I rebuke his.
Banishers are guilty of poisoning the body politic. You portray yourselves as saviors sent to deliver us. But with your dark arts, the evil only worsens. Your witches, and witches must die.
And Thea died to help New Eden. And still we fight this curse!
What more do you want from us? Almost there.
Judgment. The guilty are known. Now justice is ours.
Enough. Can we please get out of here? That was awful. This trial. It was as if Deborah wanted us to face what she had faced. But all I feel is beaten.
I feel judged. Like I'll never be understood again. Justice miscarried here.
Of course. That's it. I know what that was. Such spectre of injustice has a name. The mythical infamy. I've only read about them. They're so rare, most think them a myth.
Haskell's cowardice is to blame. To save his own arse, he condemned a woman he knew to be innocent.
And so a terrible ghost was born, and sickness piled on sickness. Haskell has so much to answer for.
feel a draft.
From the invisible.
That down there, it was... I was tense. I was impatient.
Me too. That infamy really got to us.
Years of anger coursed through me. Yet now I can't even remember why.
Me neither. This is what an infamy does. It's over now. We're here.
I said something to hurt you. I'm sorry.
I forgive you. And I hope that you forgive me too.
How refreshing it is to the soul to be at once thus delivered of that which was so. One thing above all else, my friends, is true. The wicked are at odds with themselves.
Oh, good. His latest sermon. We haven't missed it.
The Lord's promise of salvation from hell pleases them. The Lord's salvation from misery and sin here on earth does not.
This doesn't look like salvation from misery and sin.
The wicked pray for deliverance from the fires of hell, while piling the kindling high. They proclaim their love for their Lord, yet in his name they serve themselves. Their self-regard crumbles in the light of their hateful iniquities.
So true.
Mr. McCraith, my friend, I'm so glad you agree. Now, the wicked man never questions...
I have your answers.
What? Yes, good. Perhaps we should discuss this privately, if you'll give me just a moment.
It's quite the story. You might not wish to hear it. Neither may the good people here.
Please, this is not the time.
We want to hear the story. Let the Banishers speak.
Tell them, Red. Tell them good.
Aye. There's a story that starts with a question. A question for you, Governor. And maybe for all the good people of New Eden. If I give you a witch, will you do what you did to Deborah Comenius?
Comenius, say you? The school teacher walked with the devil and paid the appropriate price. That's the beginning of the history and also its end.
Is it, though? Now, I've learned much about Deborah Comenius and what happened to her, and it tells a very different tale.
And what story, pray you, does it tell?
It tells the story of a woman, a teacher, living peaceably among friends, until there came a plague. In fear, the good people went to their governor. The devil walks among us, they said, and you must save us, or we will find someone who will. This governor knew he could not save them, but he could give them a witch. She would confess, or she would be judged.
Deborah Comenius was a witch, Mr. McCraith. She was the devil's tool, and worse, much worse.
The trial was not fair. You had no proof, and you knew it.
Credible witnesses gave believable testimony, sir.
Witnesses like Gibbs, who pressured you into a guilty verdict to avoid being suspected of witchcraft yourself.
There was pressure, I'll not deny it. But I did what I did to protect the colony. It was a difficult time.
The picture of yourself that you hold in your mind is that of a great occultist.
To repel the devil, the wise and fearless man must learn the Black Spy's tricks.
Do you then consider yourself a true demonologist?
In order that a war be just, 3 things are necessary. Firstly, the authority of the sovereign. Secondly, a just cause. Thirdly, a rightful intention.
Aye, the Summa Theologiae of St. Thomas Aquinas, a classic quote from which you have conveniently omitted an important detail, to wit, a just cause is required, namely that those who are attacked should be attacked because they deserve it on account of some fault. Have you ever wondered what lies beyond the veil, past the hem, beyond the invisible? Have you ever heard of the Araloo?
What gibberish is this?
No? Your good friend Etienne Roulet did not. It seems they knew worthy of his secrets. Never mind. You're a pompous coward, fearful of anyone different, as human as that is.
There must be a man to judge, or there is no order. A man to make the judgment, and a man to enforce it. Of all people, you know this.
I live and let live. I choose only for the dead.
I choose for the living. These people are sinners, sir, and must be led back to the light. This is my mandate, my duty.
What do you really want, Governor?
I wish only to serve. I am the trusted servant of the good people of New Eden. Without me, they're lost.
Without them, you would be lost.
Yes. Maybe I do need them. Very human of me. But these people undoubtedly need me, Mr. McCraith. And there is no one else.
Admit it! You toy with magic you don't understand.
You, sir, are jealous.
I, sir, am tired. I've done my job, fulfilled my contract, I've found the source of the curse. The poison below the well is no more, no thanks to you.
Aha! Poison it was then. The weapon of the wicked, to weaken the people's will. What was it, belladonna, hemlock, foxglove?
Betrayal. Truth unspoken, secrets and lies. Wrongs, basically. Your wrongs. The wrongs you visited upon Deborah Comenius. The wrongs that led to her death.
She died at the hand of the body politic. She died at all our hands. Most of all, she died at her own.
She died because she would not submit.
'Twas not my plan to kill her, stupid, stubborn woman. Why did she not confess? I would have granted clemency. I would have shown her mercy.
You say your flock forced your hand. For the greater good, you say you indulged their bloodlust. I believe you did it. I don't believe your motive. You delighted in your magical witch hunt, your trivial rituals. You thought you'd be lauded for your humility and skill. But you have neither. Now all around you crumbles. Yet still you state your claim as the rightful protector of the people of New Eden. I have found the culprit, the devil worshipper, the source of the evil that has befallen your community. Sorry, son.
You're having a laugh.
Can't be.
That don't. My son, a witch? You mock us, sir. Present proof or retract your ridiculous accusation.
Now you need proof. For years, Lammy studied your precious library of the forbidden, but he outdid his father. He learned. 'Twas Lammy who taught Caleb Watson the dark ritual that brought his beloved wife back from the dead.
I was trying to help. I did nothing wrong.
No!
Lord have mercy!
For shame.
The boy was always strange.
No. No, Lammy is a good boy. I won't have it.
Easy, Governor. Your son's intentions were sound, and his mistakes, grave as they were, did not poison the well.
Forgive me for swearing in the meeting house, but this is a blooming farce.
Have I ever failed you? In evil times, have we not endured? Have I not protected you?
Fooled by his own flesh. How could he be so blind?
Have faith! The Banisher has lifted the curse. Brighter days are here. I knew you were trouble. You and your lady. Look what you've done!
Don't push your luck, Haskell. I've given you a shot at redemption. It's more than you gave Deborah.
Damn you, Banisher! Paid in consideration of a curse lifted. All rights defended now and hereafter. I look forward to never seeing you again.
Don't count on it. The work's not done.
I hate this place. Rest up, then please, let's get out of here.
You're angry. Can tell.
Of course you can. Aren't you angry?
I'm more disgusted. This region is doomed. I know it in my bones.
There's no shortage of suffering around here.
Haskell saw to that when he ordered Deborah's execution. I know that we're together, and it makes us strong, but I'm still wary.
I suffer. And somebody in New Eden is to blame.
Aye. Or everybody.
Don't lose yourself. You've done far more than I could ever have asked.
I'll do what it takes, and gladly. You need not ask it.
The closer we get to my body, to the truth about what happened here, the stronger I feel. My senses rise. It's as if I can taste the silence, smell the scent of wood smoke, feel the warmth of your body, feel Deborah's wrath. I feel it as if it were a part of me. I understand her anger. I feel her rage and can't help but relate to it. But that anger of mine, that fear, I thought when I left home, I'd left them behind.
You thought by becoming a banisher, you'd overcome your anger and fear.
I thought at least I'd gain control. I'm a big, bad banisher. I fear no ghost. But this whole ordeal has shaken me to the core. So much so that the sister I thought was gone for good seems to be winding her way back to me.
Your sister, Ayomide, wasn't it?
No. As a child, before I left Cuba, I had a friend. I chose to call her my sister. That night, the night I died, I dreamed of her. I dreamed of Calendre.
Are you sure it was a dream? Is that why you left the schoolhouse without me?
Yes. It must have been a dream. She wasn't there. I mean, how could she have been there?
Did you go looking for her? Was she near him? It's not beyond the realm of possibility.
It's so far beyond the realm of possibility you wouldn't believe it. No, she wasn't there. But I heard her voice. I'd swear on it. How could that be?
Dreams can be vivid. It can be difficult to separate them from reality.
I was awake, Red.
The nightmare, perhaps?
I don't think so. The nightmare felt close. This felt like it came from further away. As if from a different realm of being altogether.
What did you hear her say?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think she said we were family. Never to be divided.
She's after my job. She can't have it. I'm your family now. Nothing's tearing us apart.
Death has already torn us apart.
I hate this is where we are. I hate that I'll have to say goodbye. But for now, I'll do everything in my power to catch you.
This is how we win. Thank you for being the kindest soul I've ever met.
Thank you for being the bravest.